Welcome dear students. Today we are going to start our second chapter, Parallel Lines. In this chapter we are going to learn the angles formed by two lines and their transversals. What are the types of the angles? Then the properties related with those angles. We are going to learn theorems as well as their converse and important properties. Now let us start with the first definition. Up to 8th standard, you have studied about parallel lines. When two lines are said to be parallel to each other, when the given lines fulfill two conditions, those two lines are said to be parallel lines. Now, which are those two conditions? The first condition is the lines should be coplanar. What is the meaning of the word coplanar? That the given line should lie in one and only one plane. Then at that time, those lines are said to be coplanar. And the second condition is that the lines should not intersect each other. If these two conditions are fulfilled, then we can say that the given lines are parallel to each other. No one will ask you the definition, but we will learn the definition that the lines which are coplanar and do not intersect each other are called as parallel lines. In figure, line L and M are in the same plane. Now the surface of this blackboard is a plane. I have not drawn the one plane where the line L and M are included. Now line L and M, both the lines are parallel to each other. I will show you one important example of parallel lines. Observe your notebook. Each page is a different plane and the lines on each plane. These two lines, they will fulfill both the conditions, that since every page is a plane and therefore these lines are coplanar, as well as these are not intersecting each other, and therefore these lines are always said to be parallel lines. This is very important and a familiar example with where we can learn the concept of parallel lines. Now, today we are going to learn the angles formed by two lines and when a third line intersect those two lines. Now observe the figure on blackboard. Line L and line M are two different lines and line L is the transversal of these two lines. Now observe the names given to the angles. Actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Total 8 angles are formed. Now we are going to learn the relationship between these 8 angles. There are different pairs of angles. Those are of 3 different types. The first type is corresponding angles, second type is alternate angles, and the third type is interior angles. Now which are those 3 types? We are going to learn that. I will explain you first of all how many corresponding angles are there in the figure. Now observe the figure. First of all, if I select this angle D, then at the same position there is angle H, and therefore angle D and angle H is the first pair of corresponding angles. Now I can go on that side of transversal. I will take angle A. Then at the same position angle E is there, and therefore A and E are said to be the pair of corresponding angle. Similarly, when I take angle C, then at the same position angle G is there, and therefore angle C and angle G is the third pair of corresponding angles. Similarly, when I take angle B, then angle B and angle F is the fourth pair of corresponding angles. Simple meaning, the angles at the same position of the given transversal and the given lines. Angle D, angle H, angle A, angle E, angle C, angle G, angle B, angle F. Therefore, when two lines and their transversal is given, there are four pairs of corresponding angles. Now we will take the second type. The second type is the alternate angles made by these lines. Now these alternate angles are of two different types. First of all, we will learn the interior alternate angles. Interior means in the interior region of two given lines. This portion is said to be the interior region. Now if I take the lines, the angles on opposite side of both and at the opposite position, angle C and angle E. This is the first pair of interior alternate angles. Similarly, angle B and angle H is the second pair of interior alternate angles. Now I am going to think about the next type of this alternate angles, that is exterior alternate. If I take angle D, then I have to take angle F. If I have taken angle A, then I have to take angle G. These two pairs are said to be exterior alternate angles. Now, the third and the last type of the angles. Here, the pairs of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Now, this is the interior portion. When we have taken the opposite angles, those are said to be alternate. Now, the angles on the same side, those are said to be interior angles. That means angle C and angle H. Second pair, angle B and angle E. Now here we have completed the types of angles made by when two lines and their transversal is given. Corresponding angles, alternate angles and interior angles. In our school laboratory, maths laboratory, we are having a good apparatus which will easily show you all these types. Now here we are going to complete the types of the angles made by the two transversals. Now we are going to learn about their properties. Here we are going to learn different theorems and their proofs. And to learn those theorems, we need some properties. Then which properties we need here? The first property we need, the theorem which you have already completed. When two lines intersect each other, the opposite angles are always congruent to each other. Please remember this property. When two lines intersect each other, the opposite angles are always congruent to each other. Now, in 8th standard, you have studied about linear angles in linear pair. This is a figure of angles in linear pair. These two different angles are given. We know that when their sum is equal to 180 degree, those two angles are said to be linear pair. Therefore, when the angles are in linear pair, they are supplementary. The meaning of the word supplementary means the sum of measures of those two angles is equal to 180 degree. Also, we are going to learn some properties related with corresponding angles, alternate angles and interior angles. Now here they have given four different pairs of corresponding angles. Here we are going to learn important property related with these corresponding angles. Now, if they have given that from these four pairs, one pair is congruent to each other. If they have given angle D is congruent to angle H, That means out of 4 pairs, they have given one pair of corresponding angle is congruent to each other. If this is given, then ultimately the remaining 3 pairs are also congruent to each other. This is the next property we are going to learn. When one pair of corresponding angle is congruent, the remaining 3 pairs are also congruent to each other. Now the property related with the alternate interior angles. When one pair of alternate angle is congruent, the second pair of alternate angle is also congruent to each other. And the property related with the interior angles. Here, if one pair of interior angle is supplementary, then another pair of interior angle is also supplementary. Now these properties we are using to prove the theorems which we are going to learn just now. Students, now we are going to learn first theorem, which is known as interior angle theorem. I will explain you the statement of the theorem. If two lines are intersected by a transversal, the interior angles on the either side of the transversal are supplementary. Observe the figure. Line L and line M are given parallel to each other, and line N is their transversal, and therefore the interior angles on the each side of the transversal are supplementary. This is what we are going to prove. Now observe given here what is given. Line A is parallel to line M, and you are going to prove that the interior angles are supplementary. Therefore angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree, as well as angle C plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Now we are going to prove this proof by method of elimination. What is the method of elimination? Here we are going to consider all 3 possibilities, and if you are going to prove that first 2 possibilities are not possible, then the third remaining possibility is ultimately true. Now here, first of all, we are going to consider the 3 possibilities related with the sum of measures of these angles. We are going to prove that angle A plus B is equal to 180. But related with the sum of these 2 angles, sum of measures of these 2 angles, we are having 3 different possibilities. The first possibility is the sum of measures of these 2 angles is less than 180 degree. The second possibility is the sum is greater than 180 degree. And the third possibility is the sum is equal to 180 degree. Now let us assume that the first possibility is true, and therefore we have assumed that angle A plus B is less than 180 degree is true. Now related with Euclid's postulate, we have already learned this postulate that when 2 lines intersect each other, and if the interior angles on one side of the transversal, if their sum is less than 180 degree, then those 2 lines intersect each other. Therefore, if this measure is less than 180 degree, then our next conclusion is line L and line M intersect each other. But this is contradictory, since in the given they have given that L and M are 2 parallel lines, and therefore this first possibility is not true, or it is impossible. Students, now we are going to complete the second possibility, which is also not true. But how we are going to prove this? Let us assume that angle A plus angle B is greater than 180 degree. But they have given that in figure angle A and D are in linear pair. These 2 angles in linear pair. And we know that the angles in linear pair are always supplementary. and therefore angle A plus D is 180 as well as angle C plus B is also 180 degree. Now add these two statements, angle A plus angle D plus angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 plus 180, which is equal to 360 degree. Now from these four angles, first of all I am going to take angle C and D. Angle C and D, angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 transpose angle A and angle B, sum of these two angles on right hand side, 360 minus angle A plus angle B. But if we have considered that this sum is greater than 180 degree, then the result is this addition C plus D should be less than 180 degree. If this addition is less than 180 degree, then also we can easily say that by Euclid's postulate, these two lines intersect each other, and therefore C plus D less than 180 is not possible. It is impossible. Therefore, the second condition is also impossible. Here we have proved that these first two conditions are not possible. Those are impossible. And therefore, the third condition, that angle A plus B is equal to 180 degree is true. And therefore, we have proved the interior angle theorem. Students, now we are going to learn next theorem, which is said to be corresponding angle theorem. I will explain you the statement of the theorem. The corresponding angles formed by a transversal of two parallel lines are of equal measures. That means if the lines are parallel to each other, then the corresponding angles are also congruent to each other, or they are equal. Now here, observe the given figure. Here in figure, line L and line M are two parallel lines. They have given that line L is parallel to line M. You are going to prove that the corresponding angles are equal. Here angle A and angle B, these two are corresponding angles, and you are going to prove that these angles are equal, or they are congruent. Now first of all, I am going to apply the first property, that the angles in linear pair. Angle A and angle C are angles in linear pair, and therefore my first step of the proof is angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Statement number 1, the reason is angles in linear pair. Now observe the second pair, angle C and angle B. These are interior angles, and since the lines are parallel, these two interior angles should be supplementary, and therefore my next decision is angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Statement number 2, by interior angle theorem. Since these two are interior angles on the same side of the transversal, they are supplementary. Now observe statement number 1 and 2. Right hand side of both the statement is equal, and therefore there is equality between left hand side, and from 1 and 2 we will get what you will get, angle A plus angle C is equal to angle C plus angle B. Here angle C is common on both the sides, and therefore it gets eliminated, and therefore our next step is, therefore angle A is equal to angle B, and this is what you are going to prove, that angle A is equal to angle B. That means when two lines are parallel to each other, the corresponding angles are equal, or in other words, the corresponding angles are congruent to each other. Now we will take our next theorem, which is said to be alternate angle theorem. Students, now we are going to learn our third theorem, which is said to be alternate angle theorem. When two parallel lines are given and their transversal is given, you are going to prove that if the lines are parallel, then the alternate angles are equal, or in other words, the alternate angles are congruent to each other. Observe the given figure. In figure, line L and line M are given parallel to each other. Line N is the transversal of the two given lines. Now here, the pair of alternate angle is angle D and angle B. These two angles are alternate angles. You are going to prove that angle D is equal to angle B. Here also I am going to use two properties, angles in linear pair as well as the interior angle theorem. Now observe the figure on blackboard. Take angle D and angle C. The relation between these two angles, that the angles are in linear pair, and therefore the sum of measures of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. The reason is angles in linear pair. And also we are going to take the interior angles, angle C plus angle B. We have already completed interior angle theorem. When the lines are parallel, the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are always supplementary, and therefore sum of measures of these two angles is also 180 degree by interior angle theorem. Now observe the two statements. Here the right hand side of both the statement is equal, that is 180 degree, and therefore there is equality between left hand side, and therefore angle D plus angle C is equal to angle C plus angle B. Here angle C is common and therefore gets eliminated, and therefore angle D is equal to angle B. This is what you are going to prove, that angle D is equal to angle B. That means we have proved that when the lines are parallel, the alternate angles are equal. Now here we have learned three important theorems from this chapter. Now we are going to start our practice set 2.1. Now here third example and fifth example are omitted due to this lockdown, and therefore you are going to solve only three examples. From those three examples, here now I am going to take first two examples which are very important. Now observe the figure on blackboard. Now from these three theorems, write down last two theorems, that is corresponding angle theorem and alternate angle theorem, in your notebook. No need to write down the first interior angle theorem, since this is the method of elimination is used, and therefore this is not asked in exam, and therefore write down only last two theorems in your notebook. Now we are going to solve practice set 2.1. First example, a figure is given. Observe that figure. When you are going to learn these examples, always draw these figures in your notebook. Here, the first line is PR, second line is MS, and the transversal is DK. Two points of intersection are point H and point G. Now read the given example. They have also given measure of one angle. This angle is given as 85 degree. Now read the given example. Line RP is parallel to line MS and line DK is their transversal. Angle DHP is equal to 85 degree. Now find the measures of the following angles. Now here, first of all, how you are going to find out the measures of the angles? I am going to read the names of the angles. Angle R, H and D, measure of this angle. Also angle PHG, measure of this angle. Also angle H, G and S, measure of this angle you are going to find out. And at the last, measure of angle MGK, these angles. Now observe the figure on blackboard. These two angles are opposite angles. That means find only one measure, you will get the second measure. These two angles are also opposite angles and therefore their measures are also equal. Find one angle, you will get the next measure. Now you can start from any point. Now these two angles, angle 85, angle DHP and angle DHR are angles in linear pair and therefore their addition is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, I am going to solve this example from this point. Now write down the given things. Line RP is parallel to line MS. This is the first given thing. And line DK is the transversal. Now first thing, when this is given, you are going to write angle DHP plus angle RHD. I am going to use the same names which are given, is equal to 180 degree. The reason is angles in linear pair. Since these two angles are in linear pair, therefore their addition is 180 degree. Now angle DHP, the measure of this angle is given as 85 degree. Write it 85 degree plus angle RHD is equal to 180 degree. Therefore angle RHD is equal to 180 minus 85 degree. When we subtract 85 from 180, your answer is equal to 95 degree. And therefore measure of this angle RHD is equal to 95 degree. When I will write here 95 degree, this second angle which is given as angle PHG, therefore angle PHG is also equal to 95 degree. The reason is opposite angle. And therefore we will get the second measure also. Now we will find this measure, that is third, angle HGH. Angle HGH is equal to, now this angle and this angle given measure angle DHP, both are corresponding angles. Since the lines are parallel, their corresponding angles must be equal and therefore angle HGS is equal to angle DHP, since both the angles are corresponding angles. And therefore measure of angle HGS is equal to 85 degree. If HGS is 85 degree, then the last angle, that is angle MGK, is also 85 degree. The reason is opposite angle. Here we have completed our first example from practice set 2.1. That is, only one measure 85 is given. We have used the first property, angle of linear pair. Subtract 85 from 180, you will get the answer 95 degree. If this angle is 95, this is opposite angle and therefore angle PHG is also 95 degree. If PHG is 95 degree, then how you are going to find out HGS? this DHP and HGS are corresponding angles and therefore their measures are equal. Therefore HGS is also 85, and last angle MGK, these two are opposite angles. If this is 85, this angle is also of 85 degree. Now we will complete our second example from this practice set. When you are going to learn all these examples in mathematics too, always do your study with help of figures and try to revise each and every property which we are going to use to solve the examples. Here we can observe that we are using the same properties again and again to solve the given examples. Now I will complete first of all the given figure. This is second example. They have given the names of the figure. Line L and line M, these are two lines. Line P and line Q, these are also two intersecting lines, transversals. Now here they have given some measures and some names. Here this angle is said to be angle B. This angle is given at 180, 110. This angle is A. This one is angle C. This one is angle D, and this measure of this angle is 115 degree. Now read the given example. They have given line P is parallel to line Q. Line P is parallel to line Q. When you are going to write names of the line in Euclid's geometry, use always small letters to write names of the lines. Measures of some angles are shown. Hence find the measures of angle A, B, C and D. Now here, start from any given thing and find out measures of the angles. Now here you are going to find out measures of angle A, B, C and D. We use the same property. This measure of angle 110 and angle A both are in linear pair and therefore their sum is equal to 180 degree. Therefore measure of angle A is 180 minus 110. That means my oral calculation is angle A should be of 70 degree. Now here the reason is angles in linear pair. Now if angle A is given, then how you are going to find out angle C? Now here, first of all, use that since lines P and Q are given parallel to each other, this measure 115, this angle and this angle C, both are corresponding angles, and since the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are also congruent to each other, and therefore measure of this angle C is also 115 degree. Now you are going to learn the next, that is angle B. For angle B, P and Q are here. You are going to find out the measures of angle B and D also. We can complete this writing of the given measures. First of all, write first thing, angle A plus 110 degree is equal to 180 degree. Angles in linear pair. Angle A is equal to 180 minus 110 degree. Therefore, angle A should be equal to 70 degree. This is your first answer. Angle A is equal to 70 degree. Now also, second thing, we have used the next property A and C. Since P and Q are, line P is parallel to line Q, I have taken it. Now similarly, angle C is equal to 115 degree corresponding angles. Observe the figure. This 115 and angle C both are corresponding angles, and therefore C is also equal to 115. Now here, first of all, since here angle A is given, here A is 70 degree, therefore its opposite angle is also 70. If this is 70, this one is also 70. Why? Those are corresponding angles. Therefore, we can say that angle B is equal to 70 degree. The reason is also same, that is corresponding angles. Last, if B is 70, here 115 is given, use the property 115 plus angle D, both are in linear pair, addition is 180 degree. The reason is angles in linear pair, and therefore angle D is 180 minus 115. When I subtract 15 from 80, I will get the answer. Angle D is equal to 65 degree. Therefore, these are four measures which are required. A is of 70 degree. I am going to explain the entire example again. We are having first of all A and 110 angles in linear pair. Therefore, measure of angle A is 70. Next, this is 115, angle C is 115. Since P and Q are parallel, these two are corresponding angles. Next, if this one is 70, their opposite angle is also 70. If this is 70, B is 70. Since those are corresponding angles, 115 and D both are in linear pair, therefore their addition is 180 degree. Subtract 115 from 180, your answer is equal to 65 degree. And since names of the lines are given by only single letter, you are not able to write the names of the angles, and therefore in this example only the measures are important and the properties are important, which you are going to learn. Here also you are not able to write the opposite angle of 70 degree, name of that angle. You are going only orally that angle A and its opposite is also 70, and that's why here we are not able to write. Complete example number 4 as homework. Here we have completed our practice set 2.1. Thank you.